Welcome back to my N18 video series, and today we are going to build an expense tracker that can track our expenses in a Google Sheet by sending message through WhatsApp. So I'll give you a demo first of what we are going to build. So we have a test number and I'll type a message on the WhatsApp and then it will add the expense to a tracker using this AI agent. So for that, I'll start the workflow. So I'll click on execute workflow and it says waiting for trigger event. I'll explain all those things later. And in the trigger event, I'll say I have paid about 20 US dollars subscription. You can actually type anything. Okay, I just using the same lines. Subscription for maybe what? Facebook API. Facebook API. And then I can see something is happening with the AI agent and add expense, and let's wait and see what happens. Yes, so it says workflow executed successfully, and if I look at my expense tracker, I can see the entry gets added. So this is what we are going to build. We'll be building it from scratch. Yeah, so I'll create a new workflow. Click on create workflow, and just like any other workflow, we'll have the first step. So here the first step is a WhatsApp trigger. So in the previous video, you might have seen a chat trigger, AI agent with a chat trigger where we'll send the message through a chat console. But now for this, we'll be having a WhatsApp trigger. For that, I'll search for WhatsApp Business Cloud and then I'll select this one on messages. So here the WhatsApp, we need a WhatsApp credential to be connected. So for that, I have already connected my WhatsApp credential, but I will show you how to create your own API and all those things. So you can select on create new credential and it will ask for client ID and client secret. So from where will we get this client ID and client secret of WhatsApp? For that, we'll search for Meta for developers, and there we have an option to create an app. In my case, I will have multiple apps that I have already created for my other projects and all. So there's an option to create app, and then this create app, you can actually create app, give your app name, your contact email, and then they'll ask for some use cases, business, all those things. So there are some multiple steps that are straightforward. You can just refer the document that they have already given and then you can create apps. For now, I'll be using an app that I already made. So I'll select this. For example, I'll show you how to get the client ID and client secret that we need. So, uh, after creating an app, we'll have multiple apps like this in your dashboard, and you can select one app. For example, I will select one app where let it be ABC for test. So from here, I select one app, chat TKM, and let's wait. Yes, this is some one app that I have already created 3 years back for my college project. App roles, we need to, yeah. Here in app settings, we need to select the basic. And in basic, you can get the app ID from here and app secret from here. So this app ID will be your client ID and the app secret will be your client secret. So after you give your app ID and client ID, you can click on save and your credential will be connected. And then, so after we have this, we can execute the step. So for executing the step, so when we click on executing the step, it says listening for a test event. So which means in WhatsApp, it is listening for an event. So we need to send a message through WhatsApp, right? So which number should we choose? For that, if we go back to our WhatsApp app that we created, there is an option of WhatsApp and in API setup, if you select the API setup, there is a test number that is already given to all users by Facebook Meta. So we'll be sending the message through the test number. So this is a test number that is already listed, and this number I've already saved in my WhatsApp chat, and then I'll type hi. So when I type hi, in the workflow we can see node executed successfully, and our input has all these values: message, metadata, contacts, and all those things. The input already has all these values. So our first trigger is set up. So we can go back to Canvas, and then we can connect our AI agent. So agent, AI agent. So in AI agent, we can see it is by default is a chat input. So in my previous video, I already shown you, like if you send an AI agent, it comes with a chat input. So, but now in our case, the input is not chat input, but it is a WhatsApp input. So what we will do is here in the messages section, there is something called body. So what I will do is I will drag this body. We'll select drag this body and drop it over the chat input. Before that, we have to change the connected chat trigger node to define below, and there in the user message, we'll give the body. So this is how we'll set the AI agent. Then we have to, so now we have an AI agent. So for an AI agent, it needs a brain, a tool, and a memory. All this, why we need all the things I explained in my previous video. If you have some doubts, you can refer back to that video. So here the model we are using is OpenAI chat model. OpenAI chat model. We'll be using OpenAI chat model and have some free credits, so I'll be using that only. Then for the memory, we'll use the simple memory. In the simple memory, instead of the session JSON session ID, this actually comes from the chat trigger node. Here also we need to change this to define below, and then in the key we need to pass the ID of this message. So this is how we have to change the parameters or the key, all those things based on the trigger that we are using. And then for the tool, we will be connecting Google Sheets tool, because we'll be adding the expense to the Google Sheet. So here also you have to connect a new credential. For that, just click on a new credential, and then if you sign in with Google, you will have a new credential. For in my case, I already have a connected Google Sheets account. It is very straightforward. If you have any doubt on connecting the credential, you can just refer their docs only. And then we'll select operation is append row, because we need to add our expense or all the details one after the other in a row in the Google Sheet. And from list, instead of list, we takes the URL, and in this URL we'll pass the URL of this Google Sheet. So we'll do one thing. We'll uh, we'll create a new spreadsheet, and we'll name it expense tracker new. So in this expense tracker new, I'll create a field date. Yeah, date. What is it? Some expense and description. So I have added this date, expense, and description. And I'll pass the new Google Sheet for our new workflow. So here I'll pass the URL as it is, and then from list, we'll choose the Google sheet 1, and we'll ask it for to map each column manually. I think, but then now we are asking the model only to read. So for that, we'll select this option, where it will be defined automatically by the model. Date will be defined automatically by the model, and expense will be defined automatically by the model, and description also. So we have set all these options, and the next part is so as of now, with this, our base setup is almost done. But what we have to do is we have to ask our AI agent to do a specific task as a expense tracker. So for that, we select the AI agent, and then in an add option, there is an option system message. So by default, it is a you are a helpful assistant, that kind of message. But here, more than that, we want it to be an expense tracker to get the date, all those things, expense and all those things from the user, and then use it and to process the data back to the spreadsheet. So we need to modify this. So I'll select expression part, just um, keep it in the full screen. And what I did is I went to check the chat GPT, and I asked ChatGPT to give me a system prompt uh, for an expense tracker with the fields, date, and all those things. So I've already did all the prompt and message using ChatGPT only, and then I have a sample system prompt. So let's execute and see what happens. Also, we can modify this name into add entry for for easy understanding for and for more readability. And let's see, we can clear these executions and then try executing workflow. So it says waiting for you to create an event in WhatsApp. Mm, So um, I paid $100 for AWS. Let's see what happens, and then something is happening, and let's see what comes in our Google Sheet. Yes, it says workflow executed successfully. And if we see the Google Sheet, there is one error that you might have noticed. The date is 2024 6/5, but now it is 2025 September 16th. So there is something wrong in the date field. So we'll go back to the system prompt. Let's see what is in the system prompt. And there in the date part, if no date is given, use today's date. Okay, that is fine. In date, today's date in something is done, but then we have to pass the current date, right? For that, we'll do one. There is an option. So here, variables and context, there is an option now. So what we will do is we'll drag this now to the near the date part, and then so it will fetch the current date and then process the event. So back to Canvas, let's save this workflow and clear executions, execute workflow, waiting for an event. Let's say I paid $50 for cloud account. Cloud. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Yeah, AI agent, all those things are working. And let's see what comes in the add entry field. Yes, now the correct date with expense and cloud account subscription. So this is how we have set up the WhatsApp trigger. Use expense tracker using a WhatsApp trigger. So I hope the things are clear. And so basically what we have done is in the previous video for the email, sending an email via chat, our trigger was chat input. Now our trigger changed to WhatsApp trigger, where we send a WhatsApp message and then it tracks expenses in the Google Sheet. So more ideas for you to work on is, now it sends a message through WhatsApp and add to Google Sheet. You can try something like sending a message from WhatsApp, and instead of tracking it in Google Sheet, you can also try execute something so that it returns back some message back to us, saying something, taking some summary from Google Sheet and giving it back to us, so it will become like a personalized expense tracker. Also, if possible, we can also try something like keeping a track of all these expenses and giving a monthly report. All things are some future possibilities that you can try on. So And this is how we set up the base setup for triggering a message through WhatsApp and storing it in Google Sheets. And yeah, that's it for today, and see you in the next video. Bye.